What's up, everybody? Sports Card Dad coming at you on a Saturday with a informational video about a 80s card that pretty much everybody has heard of, except my wife. But now she knows all about it. This card comes in at number 6 on the top 80s list that was produced in the January Beckett with the 80 cards of the 80s. There's I found out that there's actually quite a few different variations of this card, and this is the first time I've actually seen the card in person. I've seen variations. There's a blacked out box variation. That's by far the most common. I've never seen the original print. But special shout out to Ram Alanas from work, who has 2 of these, and he has supplied me with the card to do the video. So I really appreciate that, Ram. Thanks for looking and finding it. So I'm going to give you a little bit of information for those of you that don't know a lot about the card. I mean, everybody knows about the card, but what I learned is that there's a lot of different variations of that card.
Oh my God.
And the card that I am talking about is the 1989 Fleer Bill Ripken, and this is the bad boy version. It's the first time I've seen this version in person. It's pretty cool. I cannot believe how that got produced without anybody actually knowing about it. So, very interesting story about the card. There's a lot of different stories about why it happened and who did it. There's stories about his brother writing it on the bat. A lot of different stories. You can search it on the internet. I'm going to give you a little bit of information on it, but I thought it's cool to show it off for those of you that haven't seen the actual version and what it looks like. Because I just recently, like I said, this is the first time I've seen this one. I've seen a lot of the black boxes, which is one of the corrections that they used for this card. So, overall, there's quite a few different variations of the card, and I didn't ever realize this. There's actually 5 main variations, but from what I'm reading, there's 12 or even more different variations, which is pretty neat. Let me show you where on the list real quick it pops up, just to show you that it is indeed the number 6 card on the 80 cards of the 80. So, variations of this card, which is what I just recently learned, which is what sparked the interest about the card. There are 5 main variations of the card. There's the F-Face original, which is this one right here. There's a black scribble, a white scribble, a black box around it, and then what is now, I guess, the most rare is the whiteout version. Those are the 5 main variations. And here I'm going to show you a few more. This shows a close-up of the F-Face, and it's blurred out because they obviously can't produce it, I guess. Then we got a close-up black ink offset. There's a close-up with red ink offset. There's the black scribble with apparently no F. And then there's a black scribble with the F. Close-up scribble with a loop. Close-up white scribble So there's actually a really, if you guys have not got this Beckett, I really highly suggest getting it. There's so much cool stuff in here. There's a whole story about this guy that collects these and nothing but these. There's also a saw cut or split. You guys can pause it if you want to read it. Black Scribble. You can pause that if you want to read. There's the Black Box. You can pause it. Black Box Glossy. Circle Scribble. Double Dies. Then the Whiteout, which is apparently it's a debate, but as you'll see here in a second, there is actually such a thing. Then there's Print Defects and Oddballs. So you guys can pause that and read it if you want. So like I said, it really piqued my interest in this card, finding out that, you know, there's so many different variations of this, and I had no idea, like, how do you come up with the card? And, like, I guess they just didn't like the first one, so they did another one, and then they did another one, and did another one. But still, I think this is the coolest one to own, just because this is what started the whole craze. So, for you guys that want to know, I'm going to list off some recent purchases on eBay, or sorry, not purchases, but sale prices. I'm going to scoot this over just a little bit, and I'm going to flash pictures of the cards right here as I go off. So on 131, the F-Face Air, which is this one, so this is going to give you kind of an idea of what this card's going to cost you. The F-Face Air PSA 9 sold for $76. Here's the picture. On 131. A Black Box Air PSA 10, which is the most common, sold for $21.99 on 131.19. There it is. A F-Face Air PSA 10, which is that one, sold on 130 for $114.99. So a PSA 10 is going to cost you around $115 right now, and these are all pretty recent sells. I had to go back a little bit to find some. Okay, where was I? The Black Scribble. Okay, Black Scribble PSA 9 right here sold for $22.99 on 130.19. So as you can see, this is still a very popular card. Then here's one that I didn't even mention, which is called the Yellow Line variation. This is a PSA 5, and it was a $50 offer, best offer accepted. So I don't actually know what it sold for, but that was on 129. Then we have the same thing. Yellow Print Line PSA 9 sold for $99.99 on 125, so no few weeks back. Then I even found another version that sold on 12/17/18. That is the F-Face Bullseye, and you can see there's a little print dot there. You'll have to pause it and zoom in, I guess. And that was a PSA 8. Sold for $70 on 12/17. And also, if you're interested, you can check out this listing currently, which is the most rare. It's the whited out version, and it's in a PSA 8, and it's for sale right now for $450 OBO. So that's a quick history on the card. Like I said, I have never seen this one till now. It's an awesome card. It's top 80 of the 80s. A must own for everybody. Hope you enjoyed the video. Hope it was informational. I know that's how I learned it from the Beckett and did some searching, not too much, but very highly collected card still to this day. Once again, shout out Ram for supplying the card for me. You guys have a wonderful weekend. Got a couple really nice pickups coming in the mail. Can't wait to show them off to you guys. And we'll see you next time. Later, guys.